YOLO. Let's face it, geopolitics suck, and most of the time I don't like to get too deep in the news. However, when it pertains to the subject of finance and investing, then I tend to pay a little bit more attention. And I've noticed that there seems to be an opportunity right now when it comes to the country of India. There are certain companies and ETFs that stand to benefit from this. But before we get into it, I just wanted to say that this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do your own due diligence before investing in something. But now that that's out of the way, let's get into why I think India could make us rich. First and foremost, we have to understand why this opportunity that I'm alluding to has even come about. And it's because of one reason, and one reason alone.
And then it's tariff. Because tariffs are going to make us rich as hell. It's going to bring our country's businesses back.
Love him or hate him, he was a man of his word when it came to tariffs. He used those things left, right, and center, slapping them across the face of almost every country that got in his way. And I preferred it when it was tariffs rather than military, but I'm not going to even get into that right now with the whole Venezuela and Greenland thing. But what this has caused is major geographical upset when it comes to production and manufacturing of most goods in China. See, China got hit really hard with tariffs, and there was even this nasty back and forth tariff war. Due to this, and a few other different policy factors, major companies such as Apple are now in the process of moving some, if not all of their manufacturing from China to somewhere else. Now the question is, which country or countries stand to benefit from China losing its monopoly as the world's producer of goods? The jobs are probably not coming to America. It's all the way around the world. We don't have the infrastructure in place, and most importantly, American workers, we're expensive. So it would have to be someone in the same geographical region as China to keep logistics and shipping costs as low as possible. On top of that, it would need to be a nation that has relatively strong, stable government. That way you don't have to deal with warlords or anything like that over in Africa. You need access to large amounts of resources, but most importantly, you need a very large workforce that is willing to work for pennies on the dollar compared to American workers. The country that fits these descriptions most perfectly? India. And when you think about it, with workers' rights laws being much more lenient in India compared to, say, South Korea or America, it only makes sense that the corporate overlords who really don't care about human conditions, because they're totally fine with sweatshops, would want to move there. On top of that, American workers would typically run you around $18 to $29 an hour in manufacturing, whereas the standard Indian worker would only earn about $1.75 or $3.30 per hour USD compared to us. It's a no-brainer. The corporate overlords are going to want to save every penny they can. So it's got me thinking, if these jobs are going to be moving from China to India, which companies, specifically American companies, are going to benefit the most from this trade-off? And then which local Indian companies would benefit the most from an influx of jobs? Apple, aka the producers of all the iPhones. They already produce about 20% of the global output from India, but they have plans to reach 25% by the end of 2025 and into Q1 of 2026. By the end of 2026 and into Q1 of 2027, they are estimated to move up to 35% of iPhone manufacturing to India. Indian analysts are saying that having this increase in such a short period of time will produce an additional $25 billion worth of sales from iPhones manufactured in India and sent to America by the end of 2026. The next two companies that stand to move a large amount of production from China to India are HP and Dell Technologies. Currently, HP is generating 85% of its products in China, and Dell Technologies is 79% of their products made in China. But they expect this to drop to about 68 to 70% made in China, while the rest is manufactured over in India, to avoid these tariffs while they are in a transitionary period. Instead of focusing on individual companies, though, you could also take a look at some ETFs. I have 3 different ETFs that you could look into that'll give you exposure to the Indian market and set you up to benefit massively if these jobs end up moving over to India. The three different ETFs that I have today to look at are iShares MSCI India ETF, ticker symbol INDA. iShares India 50 ETF, ticker symbol INDY, and Wisdom Tree India Earning ETF, ticker symbol EPI. INDA focuses mostly on financials. These are the guys who are going to give all the loans to the businesses that are going to start up. The INDY focuses on the top performing 50 companies in India. Kind of like how we have the S&P 500, they have the INDY 50, the top 50 companies of India. And then the Wisdom Tree India Earnings ETF focuses only on companies that are profitable and are actually currently producing money. And these are just a few of the individual companies and ETFs that would benefit massively from these jobs moving over to India. And that's not even considering shipping and logistics, because let's face it, India and America are not exactly next door neighbors. You got an entire ocean in between them. You have to get products from point A to point B somehow. Now, there is another economic opportunity which I have not seen anybody else talking about when it comes to India and potential jobs moving there, which is the ability to fluently speak English without an accent. Let's face it, most of the jobs that are moving there are producing goods that are going to be sold in English-speaking countries. And as a native English speaker myself, I can tell you that we are incredibly lazy when it comes to foreign languages. Now, what this means for an Indian person who gets a job in one of these companies, working in either customer service, sales, management, they're going to be able to make more money if they can speak English fluently without an accent. So here's where the opportunity for us comes in. Online language practice. You're not going to be an English tutor, so you're not going to need a degree from a formal four-year university. What you're going to be providing is the opportunity for Indian speakers to speak English with you fluently. Anyone from Western Europe or America, and even Australia, has the perfect opportunity to do some online side hustle tutoring. But those are just a few of the ways that India can make you rich, especially with these jobs moving over. Now, knock on wood, a large amount of these jobs and factories move from China as quickly as possible to India, because that'll benefit all of us stockholders, and it'll benefit the people of India. However, the only person it would really hurt is the people in China. But they went from a underdeveloped country or a developing country to becoming a developed country and a superpower in the course of about 50 years, thanks to being the manufacturing center for the world. And I think the exact same thing could happen to India. These jobs could bring in billions upon billions of dollars into the Indian economy. And if we set ourselves up strategically as investors, we could benefit from some of that as well. That's why I think India could make us very rich. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you invest into any Indian ETFs or Indian companies specifically? Maybe concrete, construction, wastewater treatment, and electricity, just to name a few, because they're going to need to grow and expand rapidly. I'd love to hear what you guys think. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.